it was a lot of pressure, and I was nervous, and it was definitely it's a crazy experience. Like just the scale of like the production and just how many people are working, making this massive machine run smoothly. It's actually insane. But yeah, that experience I just feel so grateful to have under my belt, and yeah, it was like so awesome to be in Europe for the first time doing that as well, and seeing a whole different part of the world that I haven't seen before.
Isaiah, you've been doing this for a long while now. Like, you started your singing lessons when you were in grade school to where you are now. The most streamed artist on Spotify in terms of a First Nations representative. Can you speak on like what this means to you and to be able to put your culture on the forefront?
Yeah, it means a lot, and to have those type of stats is like incredible. And hard to believe as well, because I've only been in the industry for like such a short amount of time. My culture and my identity obviously makes up a huge part of who I am, and I just always like to incorporate or get that known as much as I can about me, and it's quite amazing to think that I have that many streams and stuff, but it's great because it gives me like confidence moving forward. You know, people out there are actually liking my voice and liking my music.
You've got a great voice.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You did a national tour last year as well, which included 50 shows. You also workshop with a lot of remote and regional communities across Australia. So tell us a little bit about the workshop stuff that you ended up doing in between the shows you were doing across Australia.
Yeah, so I did a tour last year, and it was so awesome. We had like 55-date tour across Australia, and I got to see like so many places that I had never seen before in Australia, and it was really cool. I was acting like a bit of a tourist for most of that tour as well. Yeah, I do workshop before every show. It was very much like youth engagement, so I'd be talking to lots of youth like in the high school, speak about my journey and where I'm from and the things that I've done in my career and what it's like growing up with nothing and then trying to turn that into something. So we'd be visiting high schools and primary schools, or we'd invite youth to come to the venues where I'd perform and then get them to learn one of my songs. And like at my show, I would invite them on stage as well. So it was like a very positive experience. And yeah, it was about me spreading some hope as much as I could.
So you're writing a book, a children's book, specifically The Purple Platypus, and you're such a big proponent about the Black Lives Matter movement. Can you speak a little bit more about whether or not there's a bit of an interplay there in terms of like, you know, directing this kind of message to the children, to the children's audience?
So yes, it's titled The Purple Platypus, and it is definitely like a story that's kind of similar to the Ugly Duckling story, about how when you're young and, you know, you're growing up, you kind of feel like your differences make you an outsider. And the story and the message in the book is about realizing that they actually make you special, you know, and they make you and they make you who you are. So the story is like of like a purple platypus who was obviously purple, and the rest of his friends are are like the normal brown color of a platypus, and he doesn't fit in, and he wonders why he's so different. And then he meets a yellow wombat, and then they realize, wow, I'm not so alone.
Oh, that's cute.
So it definitely has like a message of inequality and, you know, realizing your worth. And, you know, it ties into a lot of things, and it definitely does tie into the Black Lives Matter, anything that where people feel like they're an outsider. This book is to, you know, encourage that thought of, you know, that you're perfect the way you are.
It's a great way to keep the conversation going, you know, of what we need to keep doing in society is to be all equal.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel really excited about this project too, because my dad is an artist as well. So I want him to illustrate some of the artwork inside the book and incorporate some Indigenous artwork in it as well. So yeah, it'll be a really good project. I'm really excited until that book gets released.
I'm a massive fan of the person you got to perform alongside at the NRL Indigenous All-Stars game earlier this year in Stan Walker. Tell us a little bit about that performance and the breathtaking impact that the crowd felt from having you two out on stage together.
I loved that performance so much, and I was just talking to Stan the other day, actually, because it was World Indigenous Day on Wednesday. That performance was, I think that was both of our, Stan and I, that was both of our last performances that we did for the year, because after that, I'm pretty sure that's when all the coronavirus stuff hit and no one else could perform. So it was definitely a memorable performance, like just being there for the Indigenous round at the NRL and being alongside Stan Walker. Like, I've watched him and listened to his voice so much growing up, and like he's way more accomplished than I am. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I was like fangirling a little bit. But, you know, like being alongside him and for the right reasons and to spread our cultures and through the music, and we were singing in language, and I'm pretty sure everybody there felt something from there because, yeah, it was very special.
Isaiah, we would love for you to introduce your brand new song, Know Me Better.
Hey everyone, this is Isaiah Firebrace, and you're listening to my brand new track, Know Me Better, on 88.3 Southern FM.